Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Just heading back up to the field to get our second lot of hay. I have had a look around, as promised, for some alternative mixer wagons, and I can't find anything suitable. There is a placeable one that has been built. I'm surprised, actually, to see the placeable one out so soon. It's something that I used a lot in both FS13 and FS15. It featured quite a bit in several of my Let's Plays in FS15. And there is one available now. It's complete remodel and everything. It's using... it's done slightly differently this time around. It's not basically just a repeat of the FS13 and 15 one. It looks good, and I might actually use it at some point, but I'm not going to be using it on this map. I don't think it would be suitable. Right, I'm actually going to come out of cab to do this bit, just because it's easier for me to do it that way. And come on round. So my question for this week is, do you want me, let me just go into this section here, do you want me to use square bales? Oh, excuse me, I seem to have got the hiccups. Do you want me to use the square bales or round bales? I know we've already done some round baling with silage, but obviously for straw and hay and things like that, as time goes on, we don't want to just have it loose sitting on the floor. It would be better in bale form. So should we go for round bales or should we go for square bales? Now there's no actual difference anymore between, I don't know if there used to be actually. I know there were with some of the mods and that, but yeah, it's 4,000 litres per bale, whether it's in square form or round form. So there's no difference like that. It's just the handling and storage and so on of them. Different people have different preferences. So it's your vote, it's your game. Don't forget to vote on the card that should have just come up here, and head into the comment section and tell us about why you're voting for the one that you're voting for. I know I said personally I prefer square bales, I was telling you about yesterday, for various reasons. So go and watch yesterday's episode if you haven't done, and you will hear me saying why I prefer the square bales. And there are bonuses to both. Some people absolutely swear by round bales, and some people absolutely swear by square bales. It really depends on partly what you're used to and what you like and the way that you approach certain jobs, I think. So today what I'd like to do is, obviously I'm going to finish picking this up, we are going to go and spend a whole load of this money on a mixer wagon so that we've got that done for the cows. I'm also going to try and get the bit of grass that we have got put to one side. I'm not happy with leaving that as it is because it's just not very realistic. They're just leaving a heap of grass like that. So we're going to try and turn that into hay. We're going to spread it out somewhere, probably just in that little field that it's in, and try to turn it. Now I've no idea how this is going to turn out, never having approached anything like this before. Obviously you wouldn't do this in real life. This is not a kind of realistic thing, but if we could at least try to get it turned into hay, I think that would be really good. For the first couple of scoops, I suppose, for the mixer wagon, we could put grass in there first rather than using straw. So that would sort of be a realistic thing, because you can use either hay, not grass instead of straw, use that instead of hay, rather. It's you can use either the hay or the grass for the TMR, the total mixed ration. So let me just back this one up here, and we'll tip that one there. And I'll just try and bring it forward a bit. There we go. Right. Now, I reckon if we were to take... We'll try and turn the grass into hay here in the middle of the yard. I think that is the better place to do it. So we've got a big open area. And it's sort of if the sun is baking down on the concrete, I guess you could kind of accept that it would be, that's how it would change over. So that's what we're going to attempt to do. We're going to go and try and pick it up with this one. Take it back to the middle up there, and then see if we can turn it into hay. Let me just come on down here. I'll tell you what, we ought to put these feeder robots going sometime soon. We've got a little bit of stuff coming out. Yeah, we'll do that a second. Let's get the feeder robot going. Come over to here. He's stuck right up in the air at the moment. It's just because of the rough ground, the way it looks. I'm sure my steering wheel is absolutely dead level before I go any further. There we go. Now if I set that one to there and then press H, he should just start working his way through, and we'll use our PDA and go and set the other robot going as well. And press H on that one. That should start doing the pigs. Perfect. Yeah, he's close enough there. Once he goes, he'll move back a little bit and he'll get a little bit closer to the trough. And then it should empty that 15 into... There we go, yeah. Okay, that's perfect. So let's go back to this one, and now we'll go into here, into the Zeta. Now we see if we can pick this up. This is going to be the difficult bit, is can we actually pick it all up? It's only a very small quantity. There's not a lot there. We'll just lower this one down. What I think we'll have to do is just sort of drive near the pile, and pull into it as we go. Sort of drive around it like this. Yeah, that seems to be working. See, there's not a massive amount going into it. Right. There's one lot. Now, if I just come up here and I turn round, it's a very, very rough little meadow. I think it could be interesting trying to do a bit of hay in this one. We might try that at some point, do a little bit of hay in here. And I'm not sure how close to the heap we can get and still successfully pick it all up. We can get pretty close. It looks like... Oop, wrong way. I don't want to jackknife it. I'll completely destroy the PTO shaft on the machine doing that. You can go into it a long way before it actually lifts the machine up in the air, can't you? I'm sure that that's particularly realistic, but still, I am picking up an entire heap that has been sat here for 3 days, so I'm not sure at this point in the proceedings that we can really say too much about full-on realism, can we? Just back up and get that last little tiny bit there. That is all of it. Right. I'm going to let that one just carry on there. I know... Actually, you know what? We're going to back up to here, and we're going to tip a little bit of this grass into this feeder trough. I'll let that one move down and go back the other way before I start backing up to tip. So he'll come back there, stop, and then go the other way. Come on, hurry up. It slows down. It slows an awful lot before it actually changes direction and starts going back the other way. Here we go. Right. Back up here to the trough. There we go. And put a little bit of ground. Hardly anything at all. Pretty much nothing has gone in there. We did, well, to be fair, we did fill it up quite recently, didn't we? Let's have a look. There, right. Cows. Silage and hay. Oh, silage or hay, and then grass is... So we actually need grass. I thought it was grass and hay together, but it's not. So you need to give them fresh grass. But when they have the power food... No, 20% is grass. So, I mean, it would be good if we could leave... You can't leave fresh grass. That's one thing you can't do, is you can't store fresh grass. We could bale it, but then technically that's silage. There's one little bit that I don't like. We're going to do this as realistically as possible. So what we'll do is, rather than storing fresh grass, when the cows need topping up, we'll put the front mower on and we will go out and we'll just gather up a bit in the forage wagon. So that's as realistic as we can get it. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to sort of drive around in a circle in the yard and try to spread this out as much as we can. Actually, we don't need to go in a circle. We're going to just go in a long line. Now, can we... I'm just going to take this one off right here because I've got a feeling that we might need it again very soon. Oh, no, the back's open. I've got to shut it down before I can unhitch. So we'll drop this one right here. There we go. And now we'll see if we can convert that into hay by running the turner over it. I don't know. I got a feeling this isn't going to work at all. It's just not going to like this, is it? We'll see. It might. I might be really, really surprised at this and have a whole load more hay, and then obviously we got no fresh grass, and yeah, but yeah. I never really thought about that before, because you can't just store fresh grass on the ground. It just doesn't work. You can't do that. It's not something that is even physically possible. That's bugged me a little bit, that is. I mean, I know that you could just kind of put it out and do how you like. Right, is this going to work? We'll turn the tether on. Is it going... Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's sensational. Look at that. We're making a big long line of hay. right the way down the road. That's fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. I know it's not exactly particularly realistic, but still, that's awesome. Okay, we'll turn that round. Go and put the turner away, and now, I'll just gather it straight back up into the forage wagon in a minute, and then we can head up to the shop and we can buy a mixer wagon. Tell you what, I'm going to put this one right in here, nice and quick. I'll just drop it out here so that we're not blocking the mower, because if we're not going to store any fresh grass anywhere on the ground, we're going to need access to our mower on a regular basis. I don't know if we'll actually do this for all of it. I suppose we could store a bit in the forage wagon. You can do 6 days worth in the animal's feeding trough, but again, that's not exactly realistic. If you are feeding fresh grass, it would be done on a daily or at least every other day, as far as I know. I mean, I could be wrong. I have made mistakes in the past, and I know lots of you will point out when I make mistakes, keep me on a straight and narrow, and I appreciate that. I really do. I want you to point out the mistakes that I make. We don't want to be getting things wrong, and I certainly don't want to be delivering false information to people. Now, if I come back up this side, and then we'll come back down the middle for the final little bit. So let's gather that up. Right, I wonder if you could run a rake down across that and have an absolutely huge, great big windrow. I don't know how the rake would cope with that. Maybe we'll do that. Next time that we go and we gather some grass, we'll spread the rest out on the concrete in order to dry it out. We'll use the turner on it. But we'll run the rake down over it and see how the rake copes with extra thick quantity. Is some of it just going to sort of vanish into thin air? Disappear? Or not? Maybe something else. That'd be an interesting exercise to sort of find out what happens. Now, we got 11,000 litres here. Do I go and... actually, I will. I'll go and store that over in the shed over there. So I'll tip this out a minute. Then I'll unhitch the forage wagon, nip up to the shop, and we will be in a position to go and buy our mixed feeder. And we've got to the shop. You know, I've never actually been up these stairs. I wonder what's up here. Probably not very much. Can we open the doors? No. You can sort of climb into them. Brilliant. Okay, so you sort of glitch into them and end up launching yourself up onto the roof, nearly. What about over here? Can you throw yourself off? What I'd really like to do is land on that bar over there. I wonder if we can do this. Oh, I landed on it and then fell right through. Okay, this isn't a platform game or anything like that, so let's be a bit more serious. I'm sure the local dealership doesn't want me swinging from the chandeliers like some sort of large ape man. Trailed Line Duo 1814 Silo King. This is 41,000 euros, which is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, but we do need it, and we have to buy everything on this map. There we go. There it is. In all its glory, right behind us. There we go. This is the Silo King. Trailed Line Duo 1814. Now, does it say what the quantity of it was? 16,000 litres. That one there is also 16,000 litres. So that one's actually exactly the same. In the last edition of the game, the trailed one was actually bigger than the other one. So, yeah, go figure. Not quite sure why the trailed one was the bigger of the two, but anyway, it was. So that's what we had. Just back up here and hitch that one into place. And I'm wondering if we should do it tonight. I'm wondering if perhaps we should wait until morning before we start loading this up, because it's going to start getting dark soon. I mean, it could be nice to have the cows have their little bit extra before we go to sleep for the night. Oh, I can get out in front of him. Ooh, decisions. No, I'll tell you what, we are going to go back home and spend the night. People were asking me, I've had a few people ask me a little while ago because they said that they were looking around and they can't see it, and I did have a comment more recently, someone was saying, where is it? The house for the farmer that he lives here, and I think I have mentioned this previously, but for those of you who don't know, some farms, like it, I know that it is common in certain places in Eastern Europe, and it's also common in certain places in the States. The farm is out of town, and so is the main farm yard and everything, and all of the machinery and the animals, stuff like that. But the house of the farmer is actually right in the town, and so it wouldn't be at all unusual to have all these buildings and everything here, and then the farmer go home in the evening, go back into town, where all of the infrastructure is, the local support, family, and everything else. So that would be where you would sleep. So if we just turn this one off, we're going to go home for the night, and hopefully our beloved wife will come down and pick us up and take us home, and then we will spend the night and then come back here in the morning, because none of these here are actually the buildings that we would live in. They're far too small. I suppose you could sleep in that one if you really wanted to, but I don't think you would. So yeah, I believe that this is actually, because it used to be a co-op run farm, is what it says in the description of the map. It would make sense that the farmer would sleep back in the town. So anyway, we're going to go to bed, and we will start this in the morning, because then we'll have a bit more light. It's going to get very dark soon. Good morning, folks. It's a wonderful day. Looks like it's going to be bright sunshine all day. So a quick update on our crops now. The sugar beet, in those two fields that we will be harvesting before we buy the fields, that's got another growth stage to go, and then the final bit. I think that sugar beet and potatoes, they stay in the final growth stage for 2 sort of time periods, and then they move to removing the tops, which is why we had the difficulty previously with timing the potato harvest just right. I think you've got a smaller window in which to do the harvest. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I believe that's how it works. It's certainly on the potatoes. I did see it happen on the potatoes when I was recording the time-lapse series, the time-lapse for Christmas, the episode that I did for Christmas. So our section that we got here, and field 19, that one has got to go, and field 14 is actually very soon ready to harvest. So we haven't got long to go on there. And if we look at our animals, we now have 13 cows, and in another 5 days we'll have our 14th cow. So I would like to buy a few more and sort of increase that a bit. It would be quite nice. Pigs were up to 22. We're getting a new one every just under 7 hours now. That drops fairly rapidly to start with, and then as you get close to 100, it does seem to sort of level out a bit more, so that you only gain about a minute each time. But it would be nice to boost it a bit, get another few trailer loads of pigs, and then once we reach 100 pigs, I would then start selling off anything that we got over 100 pigs. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but if we can boost it a bit, it should help things. Now, anyway, I've got some hay. I went over and I spooned a little bit up into this one, and it takes 12, is it 12,000 litres that one takes altogether? I can't remember now. I think it's 12. No, 16,000. So we could actually put 3 buckets of hay and 3 buckets of silage into this one. So I'm just going to tip this first bucket of hay in here anyway, and then I'll skip out, jump into the tractor, and we can take a look on... Yeah, so we got hay in at the moment. So we want hay, we want silage, and we want straw. And we mustn't have more than 30% with the straw. So, just come out of there. We'll go and get a... Now, it's the silage that we can't use too much of, because we haven't got very much. I mean, we are going to actually have to do another silage harvest fairly soon. We are getting low on silage. I don't intend at the moment to do a corn silage harvest. But then I think that we should save silage for using only with the mixed feeder. We don't want to be putting any more silage in for the cows, because they can have hay rather than silage, and hay is a lot easier to make. You've only got to go over the field so many times, and we've already got the equipment for that. It's just quicker and easier to do it that way. So we'll put in a bucket full of this. I'm going to put another bucket, I suppose I should really just drive the mixed feeder around to each point and then spoon in the bits that we want, but I will do that next time. We'll do it a lot more efficiently next time. I'm going to put 2 bucketfuls of each into it, although I don't actually think we're going to need that much. So there's the second bucket of silage, and because let's see how much we got in here. Let me just bring that one up. What do we got? We've got 34,000 litres of silage left, and we're only using it 1,800 a time in the bucket. We don't actually use it for anything else at all, do we? We're not going to be selling any now. That's actually good. So we do have enough silage to last us for a while, and when we do come to make it, we're not going to need to make loads of it, so it's not going to like use up too many episodes when we have to go and do that. Because I like to do the tasks on screen, but what I don't like doing is starting a task on screen and having to spend like 5 or 6 hours in order to move it on for the next bit. I feel that is actually a little bit too much for a Let's Play. I'm happy to do like a couple of hours in between episodes, but I feel doing more than that is actually like taking away from the experience of, well, what I feel that a Let's Play is kind of all about. It's really about experiencing all different things, and if I've got to do 6 hours of gameplay in between in order to just move it along a little bit, then perhaps we're doing a job that is just a little bit too big of a scale for a Let's Play map. You know, really, jobs that take 5 or 6 hours or longer really should be on my time-lapse series. So that's what the time-lapse... That's originally why I started doing the time-lapse, was so that I could do those really long sessions and get something out of it. Be able to share my experiences with it. So we're going to go and get a bucket of straw. I don't know if we're going to actually need 2 buckets of straw. I don't even know if it will allow us to do 2 buckets of straw. I'm hoping it will. I would assume that you would be able to, because it always used to be exactly a third. Was it? I don't think it was 30%. I think it was 33% straw. You could do 33% straw. I mean, if we can't, we'll just put in a little tiny bit extra of. I'm gonna let that go in a minute, and we'll just take a look and see what the numbers are. Let's press F1. 20%. So we've got 40% hay, 40% silage, and 20% straw. Now, if I change that over, that's actually going to be exactly 1/3 each. And I'm not sure. Should be okay, actually. If I can do 1/3 each, I think we'll be okay. At least I hope we will. We'll have to do this carefully. We can't put too much. 3,000... It's going to end up being like 3,600 straw, isn't it? Maybe if I don't do quite... Oh well. I was going to say if I don't do quite a full bucket, but we've got a full bucket now, so we'll just go with it. I'm assuming that if... The percentages will change slightly so that you can't put too much in. I know that it is possible to put a little bit too much in. You can accidentally overfill on some of the items. So we're going to do this very carefully. I don't want to put too much in. I'm going to... Right, that's not too much. Let me bring it down there. Right, so it's just over 1,000 that I've put in this time. Let's see what the numbers are. Right, that's still okay. 35% each on the others and just 30% on that one. I think you can get away with it because that's actually brought those numbers down. It does. The green bars do appear to be on percentages rather than anything else. And it's... That symbol, I forgot to look at the symbol before we put the rest of it in, but that is the symbol for mixed ration. So let me put all of it in, and now we'll see what it's saying. Ooh, we're on the red. 33.35. We're on the red now. And that's what the... right. So it's mixed ration, but it's not mixed correctly. Look, down at the symbol in the bottom right-hand corner. It's mixed incorrectly. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go and get a little tiny bit of silage, just a smidge, and drop in there as well, and that should put it correct. At least I'm hoping it. I'm hoping that will actually correct the percentages. If we just tiny little bit of silage, we don't need very much. Only, I would say, not even a few hundred. Just a couple hundred litres. There, 300 litres. That I'm hoping will be enough. It would just nudge the percentage that we've got of the straw in there below the 30, because it's 33% is the limit, and that is over 33%, isn't it? It's like 33.1 or something. Let's very quickly take a look at that. Yeah, 33.35, and for a third it would actually be 33.33. So we could actually, if depending on how accurate it is, we might be literally like 1 litre too much to make that 0.03 extra. So if I just drop that in there. Now let me take a look. 32.4, and it's still saying that it's over. Please tell me that we haven't made some horrible, hideous mistake. Right, I'm going to go rushing over. We are actually running out of time. It's going to be it for today once we've actually managed to make up this. I'm going to go and get a full bucket full of hay, and I'm going to dump that in there, and hopefully that'll make it all okay. I'm a bit concerned that we've overfilled now. I'm pretty sure that the bars are actually just... there we go, full bucket. I'm pretty sure that the bars are actually just percentage bars, and they're not actually... like it's not overfill. I mean... so that it's not saying, I'm hoping it's not saying that we've put too much straw in and there's nothing that we can do about it. I think if we can add a little bit more of another product in there, it should make it okay. So we'll put half of that lot of hay in, because I'll actually put the rest of the hay in for the cows anyway. Ah, we're okay. Right, so it does look like it's 30% I think is okay. Maybe 31%, I really don't know, but we're okay once you put the... why did I put that in there? I was going to go and put that in separately for them, wasn't I? Oh well, I'll have to do that in a bit. Okay, we've got our first mix, and there's no way to turn the machine on, is there? No, it would help if I turned the tractor on. Right, that is mixing and doing a grand job. You can choose which side you unload from, so at the moment it's tipping on the left, and you can choose to unload it on the right. We could left control and we could just tip the whole complete mixed ration in a heap on the floor and then spoon it in to the cattle at a later date if we chose to. I'm not going to choose to, I'm going to choose not to do that. We're going to drive up through here and we're going to empty it out onto the left. Let me just come up a little bit closer and... just unload. That's all we've got to do is just unload. So it should... yep, there it goes. Tips out onto the side. I forget how much we had in here. I think we had like 12,000 litres. So you come all the way down. And that's actually really good. I'm liking the animation of this. It is working quite accurately. That is quite nice. We've used the entire wagon load. Right, now what's it done to our numbers? Right, it's... oh, the grass was already full. 15,905. That's actually pretty much come up to the top there now. And it's given us 5,000 litres of power food. Now that seems... why does it do it like that? I did hear someone else saying about that. You put the total mixed ration in, and it puts some into silage and hay, and then it puts some into power food. I don't know if it tops up the silage and hay first, and then, or if it just splits between the two. I genuinely don't know. I think that it actually tops up silage and hay first, and then moves into power food. I genuinely don't know. I'm not sure about that, but we do have some power food in there now, so that should very quickly change now up to full 100% productivity, which means that we're going to get more milk. And when we had just yeah, it should do. Yeah, when we had 12 cows during the night, the amount of money that we got just about cleared all of our expenses. I think our expenses were 800-900 euros more than what we got. 13 cows, and that's at 75% on 12 cows. 13 cows on the extra amount that we've got now. I'm actually going to speed up time a little bit. Just if I speed us up, if I take us right through to 8 o'clock. While we wait, my question for the week, do you want me to work with round bales or square bales? We're going to be buying a baler soon. I don't know when, but we will be buying a baler because we're going to need one to do the various different jobs that we have on the farm. Do you want me to get a round baler and do some more round bale stuff? It would be, you know, mainly for the hay and for the straw, for storing it. Or do you want me to work with a square baler? Don't worry about the price, because by the time we get the baler, we should have a little bit more money available because we've already got the extra land and so on. So really just go on your personal preference for round or square baler. It's your vote, it's your game. Don't forget to mouse over in the top right hand corner and click on the white eye to be able to cast your vote. Head into the comment section and have a little chat about what you'd like to do. The topic of conversation for today, I didn't actually mention one earlier, is how they've done the mixed ration system in this game. What do you think of it? What is your opinion of the mixed ration system? Why are we on 99%? Why can't I have 100%? I don't like that. Anyway, that should now give us enough milk to cover all of our expenses every day and actually take us a little bit into profit. And then once we start selling pigs, it's going to take us even further into profit. But obviously we've got to buy the land before we can buy the pigs, because that was actually a question that I asked you. I'm a bit curious about the power food as to why it did that. But anyway, what do you think of the way that they have done the setup for doing power food in that, for mixing silage and hay and straw to be the power food for the cattle? Personally, I'm not that keen on it. I like the way that they've done the pigs thing with... actually, we've already got hay in there now, so I don't actually need to go and get any more. I like the way they've done the pigs, and they've got to have a variety of grains. But I've always thought that we should be able to put grains in for the cattle. Because really, a mixed power food for cattle, you would mix in something like a bit of barley or something like that and feed that to them in order to give them a bit of extra energy and so on. So personally, I'm not overly thrilled with the way that they've done it, and I was hoping they would have added grains to the power food this time round. They haven't yet. I'm hoping that they will for FS19. But anyway, that's my opinion on the subject. What is your opinion? That is today's topic of conversation. If you've enjoyed this episode, please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. Just finding somewhere to put the Silo King. I think we'll actually put it over near the hay store over here. We'll put it on this side of the road. Store it over here. That's everything. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, folks. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.